Excuse me, YouTube. Good day. Today we are drinking some Epicurean 2015 Coffee Fig Imperial Oatmeal Stout from Epic Brewing in the New Zealand. And today we are going to be shooting the shit with the Rhino. So we're going to be talking about my day. Today is July 20th. So my day started on July 18th. And yeah, it's weird. It's 6:20 a.m. July 20th. My day started at 6 p.m. July 18th. So, well, probably 5 p.m. July 18th. I wake up. I get dressed. My buddy shows up to pick me up for work. Takes me into work on July 18th. I get to work. I'm working a really busy bar. Get our asses handed to us. Night's over. I come home. It's late at night. I sit down here. I'm watching some American Dad because that's what I'm watching at the moment. And I'm watching American Dad. I'm not thinking anything of it. Just watching American Dad, having fun. I'm like, you know what? I'll go to bed around 7 a.m. I'll sleep till about 4, get up, do some painting, do this and that. I have some stuff to do. There's no one here. It's just me and the cat. Everybody's gone. Sitting there watching American Dad, and it's like 5:15 in the morning. I turn on another episode. Get halfway through the episode, so now it's 5:30. And it dawns on me, 5:30 a.m. on the 19th. Oh, fuck! Today my door gets installed because my new front door is coming in. And I'm freaking out. They're supposed to be here between 8 and 10 a.m. And it's now like 5:30. I'm like, oh, God. They're going to be here. They'll be here for 3 hours. I need to sleep. I have all this stuff to do. I have this huge lineup of shit to do. So I turn off the show and I run upstairs. I lay down. By the time I get everything turned off and cleaned up down here and go upstairs, it's like 6 a.m. They're supposed to be here at 8. I'm like, I don't know if I can sleep. And I lay down. I close my eyes. I don't sleep at all. 8 a.m. comes. My alarm goes off because they said between 8 and 10 a.m. I don't know how many of you actually deal with contractors and stuff, but I hate contractors. I hate service people because they give you a window. At least this window was only 2 hours between 8 and 10 a.m. But you'll get contractors and stuff that will be like, we'll be there between 11 a.m. and 9 p.m. Fuck you. Fuck you. But my luck, not my luck, but my experience with a contractor and with service people is if I stay awake, they show up at the very end of their window. If I go to sleep, they show up at the very beginning of the window. And then I miss them because I'm asleep. But so these guys were 8 to 10 a.m. So I wake up at 8. Nobody's here. I set my alarm clock for 15 minutes, and I keep doing 15 minutes, and I can't actually fall asleep at all. I'm just laying in the bed. They show up at 9:58. 9:50 fucking 8. Now, I live in an old house. I live in an old, you can probably see by even the size of the fucking boards above me. Like, those are 2x4s hitting fucking 2x2s and shit. I live in a wartime house. It's warped. It's not nice. I've done all the interior doors myself, but the exterior doors, 2 exterior doors, I'll pay the $1,000 to have somebody come and do it for me because I know how this house is. I pay $1,000 for somebody to come and do this shit for me. The door looks like shit. There's a huge fucking gap in it. I have to put my own fucking weather stripping in there to keep the air from coming in. I can shake the door. It's not solidly in. They didn't fucking foam in the old frame. Like these guys were one of the most well-respected contractors in the area, and they did a shit job. I had Home Depot do my back door, and my back door is great. I get the most well-respected contractor to do my front door, and it's shit. But so they're here for 3 hours. They get here at 10. They're here till 1. Now, I've been up since the day before, and I have to work last night. At 10:30, one of the workers comes in and goes, hey, can I use your washroom? I'm cleaning the washroom at the moment, right? Like, I'm scrubbing everything down and all that. No family's here, so I might as well. I'm like, sure, use the washroom. He goes and uses the washroom. He leaves. After he leaves the washroom, I'm like, I got to scoop the cat shit. It's my wife's cat. I hate the cat. I don't want anything to do with the cat. But nobody scoops the cat shit unless I scoop the cat shit. We use the fucking crystals, the moisture absorbing crystals. So once a month you change the crystals. It absorbs all the cat urine. You don't get the cat urine smell. And the shit dries out a little bit, but you just take your scooper, you shake all the fucking crystals out, and you pour the shit right in the toilet. Our cat shit is right beside the toilet, so it's very convenient. I'm doing the cat shit, bitching the whole time to myself while they're doing the door about the fact that I have to do the fucking cat shit. My wife won't ever touch the cat shit, but she especially won't touch the cat shit now. For those of you that don't know, I'm expecting another. So I'm expecting a third. I didn't want a first kid. I'm expecting a third kid, and you all get, use a condom. I keep getting told my wife is on the fucking pill. The first time, I found whole packs not used, and I freaked out. This time, because she knows that I look for the packs, she was throwing the fucking pills in the toilet and flushing them so that it looked like she was using them. I have super sperm. I've impregnated this woman 36 times. We've had 3 kids. She has PCOS, so polycystic ovarian syndrome. So she has a lot of ectopic pregnancies and a lot of miscarriages. It is what it is. I feel bad for her, but I don't want kids. I don't want kids because of my BPD, my borderline personality disorder, which is much like bipolar disorder, for those of you that do not know. But unlike bipolar disorder, which is a chemical imbalance, borderline personality disorder is caused by trauma, and they have the exact same symptoms, exact same everything else, but one can be controlled and one really can't. One is on you to control, and I try to control it as much as I can. I've cut out a lot of my triggers, but every once in a while, one of them gets into my life. And for those of you that have watched the Heart to Hearts with the Rhino, you know exactly what causes my triggers, or at least some of the things that causes my triggers, because I've talked about some of them. But whatever, we're getting off topic right now. So 10:30, the guy pisses, he leaves. I start scooping the cat shit. I scoop a bunch of cat turds out, flush. I scoop another bunch of cat turds out, flush. I scoop my third batch of cat turds out, and I flush, and it doesn't go anywhere. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean it doesn't go anywhere? What the fuck's going on? And it backs up. So I plunge for about an hour. Nothing happens. I don't have a good plunger. What I have is the fucking plastic plungers with the fucking accordion. So the accordion plunger isn't working well for me. I got to buy a new plunger and see what happens. But I have a European toilet, so it has a really in-depth like double S fucking thing, and it doesn't flush at the full thing. And so I'm plunging, nothing happens. I have a sewer snake. I own a fucking house, so I have to have a snake, right? I snake my own shit. Instead of paying somebody hundreds of dollars to come and snake, I try to snake it first myself. Usually it works. I shove my snake in there, and I get it almost all the way to the wax seal, and I know that because of how long of the snake is in the toilet. And I start flicking the snake around. Nothing happens. Get a bucket. I get a brewing bucket. And I pour the brewing bucket full of water in it, just hoping to just force it through. And nothing happens. I work on this fucking toilet for the full 2 hours that they're over at the door doing the door. I'm home alone. It's just me and the cat. I don't have my kids. I don't have my wife. I don't have my dogs. Unfortunately, because I don't have my wife, I don't have a way to either Home Depot or Lowe's. If I had a way to Home Depot or Lowe's, I would have bought a fucking new flange and wax ring by now, taken the toilet off and unfucking plunged it, like unclogged it from the underneath. I'm fucked right now. I shit 6 times a day. I don't even eat much, but I shit 6 times a day. My body is still robotic. I know I'm fat and all that now, but my body's still robotic from when I was a wrestler, a rugby player, a football player, doing the strongman and all that. My body still is on that time schedule. It still shits out shit all the time. So I'm worried. The closest fucking washroom to me is 40 minutes away, either Tim Hortons or work. Those are my 2 choices. I can walk for 40 minutes to either of them. So now I've been up since the 18th. It's 1 p.m. on the 19th. They leave. I still haven't fixed the toilet, but I'm like, I have to try and sleep for at least 4 hours before my buddy Scotty gets here to pick me up for work. I lay down for 3 hours and 45 minutes. Don't sleep, but lay down. Get up at 4:45, start getting ready for work. At 5:15, my phone vibrates. Pick it up. It's a fucking text message from Scotty. Hey, man. And Scotty's a big pothead. And I love Scotty to death. I've known him for over a decade. He's a great guy. I love him. He's been at my house, both here and in St. Catharines, many a times. But I get this message. Hey, man, I got an EO, and an EO stands for early out, so he didn't have to come into work. I got an EO at 4. I forgot to tell you. I'm not coming to get you. Well, that's great. It's 5:15 right now. It takes me 40 minutes to get to work, and I start at 6 p.m. What the fuck? So I get out the house, and I run part of the way to work. I just make it. I swipe in at like 5:58. I sit in pre-shift. Now I've been up for over 24 hours. Get up on the gaming floor. We get fucking crushed again. We get crushed in a way I haven't known in a long time. I come home. I've now been up for 36 hours, and I come home. I look at my toilet, and there's no water in the toilet, so the flange is open at least a little bit. There's a whole bunch of brown all over the toilet, so some of the cat shit has liquefied. Like, okay, well, I'll go get a 6-gallon bucket and just pour it right down and hope to force it out again. Yeah, no, it's still clogged up to motherfucking hell. So my toilet still doesn't work. I still have no family. My family won't be here until Thursday. I have nowhere to shit. I haven't slept. What is it? It's now 48 hours I haven't slept. More than that. I've been awake since the 18th. It's now the 20th. It's almost 7 a.m. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I don't get it. I don't get what the fuck the world, like, what are you tossing at me? What the fuck are you doing this for? Now, on the plus side, I won Employee of the Month at work. It used to be you had to be a really good worker to win Employee of the Month. Now we have 4 core values. As long as you exemplify one of the 4 core values, you get an award. It used to be Employee of the Month, which was $500. Now it's worth a $100 prize in a catalog that gets sent to you months later. So I won it for my charity work, my improving the community, which is one of our core values, for my beer festivals and such as that, and my Santa Claus is at in the winter and all that. So I win this. That's great. I win it. I don't like being centered out. I don't like having I have a persona I try to put out at work and in the real world. A lot of you that meet me on the street, and there is a lot of you that do. I'm a little weird when you're talking to me, and it's my BPD. I can't open up to people right away. I can't, as much as I'd like to, as much as you'd like me to, until I know you a little better. It's hard for me to open up and actually have a full-on conversation. I try. If you get one of the few things I actually really enjoy into the conversation, I'll have a better conversation with you. But it's hard to get me to have that conversation in the first place. And I mean, I do feel bad about it. Joe is a good friend of mine now, Average Joe. And when he would try to get conversations going with me, it was a harsh thing to start. And it wasn't that it's his fault; it's that it's me. I'm weird because of my BPD. I don't like letting my guard down. I want to get to know you a little bit at least before I let you into my life, because of things that have happened in my past. And I do get a lot of people that show up at my work and they're like, hey, you're the albino Rhino, and they try to talk to me a lot. And as much as I'd like to talk to you, I mean, on here I can talk to you as much as I want, but when we're face to face and I see you, it's hard for me. And again, it's not me trying to be a dick to you. It's not anything like that. It's hard for me. It really is. And so I have this persona at work, which is the persona that I've always had when I was a bouncer and when I got paid to do bad things to people when I was built. I was a wrestler, a rugby player, a football player. I did strongman. I did the Highland Games. That's the stuff I did in my younger days before I got the beer belly, because I don't have time to work out 24 hours a day anymore. But I keep that persona. I keep that I'm mean and disgruntled persona going. And most people that have worked with me long enough know that that's just the persona I keep out. But we're sitting in pre-shift, and they have this 5-minute speech about me and the things I've done. And I'm just glaring at our manager, because our manager, our director, and 2 of our supervisors came in to do this presentation. I'm just glaring at them. And I hear from one of my buddies that was sitting right beside him. My buddy's like, yeah, he kept saying, I think he's going to kill me. And I said, I think he is. You better watch yourself. And he came chasing down the hall at me afterwards. And he's like, I'm really sorry. I know you don't like being centered out. I really don't like being centered out. I don't like being recognized for the things I do. I don't do them to be recognized. I run my charity festivals. I go to sick kids as a Santa and all that. I do that because I want to do it, and because it makes me feel better. I don't do it to make people think that I'm a better person. And it's not what I want. It's not what I do it for. And I hate that. It gets my mind off the things that happened to me as a kid. It gets my mind off the things my mother did to me. It gets my mind off the things that a lot of her drunken piece of shit husbands did to me. It gets my mind off the things that I had to deal with as somebody different in school. And I mean, you get minorities. Oh, I was a minority in school. You weren't a guy that was completely white, legally blind, couldn't go in the sun, and this and that. Actually, your minorities beat me up a lot too, because I was so different. And I'm not doing a sob story or anything. Don't think that I'm doing that. I'm just talking out loud right now. I do the things I do to get my mind off the things that bother me from my past, and that's the way I do it, and why I do it. So that was a good thing. I mean, it was a good thing. You used to, like I said, you used to get money off of it. Actually, I tried to record this on the phone before I decided to do it live, so I don't know what I've said on the phone and what I'm saying here. So if I haven't said this before, I'm sorry. When you won gold recognition, which is what it was called before, you ended up getting $500 cash. Now you get to pick a prize out of a book. And me being the sarcastic bastard I am, I was harassing my manager about the prizes in the book. I'm like, yeah, those prizes are bullshit, man. I think you need an albino prize. And he's like, well, what do you mean? I go, well, let's look at the prizes you have, man. There's a bunch of watches I can get. I'm blind. I can't read the fucking watches. I can get a jumper set, and it's not like jumper cables. It's one of those portable jumpers to start your car if your car dies in the middle of nowhere. Like, that's great. I'm blind. I can't drive. How about an Adirondack chair? I'm albino. Go sit in the sun in your Adirondack chair. I'm just going on, right? I'm like, oh, if you don't want to give me that, how about a circular saw? Let's give the blind guy a circular saw. They're really nice prizes. I mean, well, really nice things to choose. Don't get me wrong. I'm just making fun of the fact that what they are and who I am. I'm like, you guys really need an albino prize, because I don't want to have to get something just to give my wife just because I have to give it to her because I can't use any of it. And I was just harassing them just for shits and giggles. But it's the way it is. I mean, yeah. Let's drink some beer. So as I said, I shit a lot of times a day, 6 times up a day on average. I don't go to work. Nobody's here until tomorrow. But what am I going to do? Am I going to walk 40 minutes? No, this is what I thought of. And this is disgusting, but this is what I thought of. So I have the puke bucket, which is one of my old brewing buckets that I puked in. And it's marked puke bucket and all that. I'm going to fill it halfway with water. If I have to shit, I'm shitting in the puke bucket. I'm putting the lid on it. I'm putting an airlock in it. And that's the way it's going to sit until I fix the toilet. And then I'll dump it down the toilet. And then I'll throw it in the garbage bag. Tie up the garbage bag. I'll put it inside another garbage bag and tie that up. And I'll put it inside another garbage bag. Tie that up. And I'll put that inside another garbage bag and then fill the rest of the garbage bag up with garbage. I'm a thinker. I think this is ingenious. If I really have to shit, 40-minute walk and hope not to shit myself, shit in a brewing bucket and put an airlock in so no smell gets out. Brewing bucket, I think, is a great idea. I really do. I really think it's a great idea. I can't believe that my toilet is clogged with cat shit. I'm worried about fucking toxicemia. I'm worried about getting fucking toxic shock from cat shit right now. I can't believe it's still clogged fucking almost 24 hours later. I tried every stupid internet idea out there. Pour hot water down for your toilet. I'm not pouring hot water in my toilet. I know that'll crack it. But warm water, okay, maybe. Or if it doesn't crack it, it's gonna melt the fucking wax seal, and my fucking toilet's just gonna leak anyway. So I tried the warm water. There was another one. Use Dawn dish soap. Well, what do you know? I actually use Dawn dish soap. The Dawn dish soap will melt the fat. You know what it did? It made a fucking frothy mess. So right now I have liquefied cat shit, frothy mess bullshit upstairs. I need a real plunger, not one of those fucking accordion plastic ones, first off. I need to snake it more. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I could take it off, but as soon as you take it off, you can't put it back until you have a new fucking wax seal. And again, my wife's not here until Friday. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I'm freaking out, man. I'm freaking out. I can piss in the bathrooms, in the bathtub. I can piss in the basement sink. I can piss in the backyard. I can piss anywhere I want. It's not like pissing is a problem. It's the shitting. The 6 times a day shitting. What the fuck am I going to do there? I still think my my bucket idea is good, but when I have to take the lid off, if I have to shit again, I'm fucked because that's going to release it. I once, as a prank, before my BPD really kicked in, took a shit in a Pringles container. Basically, we were counselors at a summer camp, and we were having a prank war, me and another cabin. And he released mice in my cabin. Fuck you, you don't release mice in my cabin. And he released mice in my cabin, freaked out my campers, freaked out me, because and back then I was doing strongman too. So I'm this like 300 and some pound man shrieking like a girl because there's mice in the cabin. And I went into his cabin when he was off doing campfire stuff, and I took a package of his Pringles, took all the Pringles out of it, shit in the package of Pringles, put the lid back on, and put it in his bag. And when he opened that, the smell was just horrendous. So I know what's going to happen when I open my fucking brewing bucket with the airlock. I know exactly what's going to happen, and I don't really want that. That's going to be horrible. Where are we at? Lee, you just browsed into the best thing in the world. And yeah, like I said, it's and Lee, that's one of the reasons I think we get along so well, is because we're both introverts. We both have so much of the same ideas, at least why I think we get along so well. And it might just be my BPD making me think I actually have a friend out of you. But I actually do think that if we lived closer together, we would have been better friends and around each other a lot more, because we are quite the same. Since you're here, there will not be a BDU tonight because I actually have to go into work tonight because I had to do some shenanigans to get Friday night off, because Saturday is my brother's wedding. And for those of you that don't know, I don't really talk to either of my brothers. I don't actually care about either of my brothers. They're not really my brothers either. We're half brothers. We're all from a different father. My mother's been married several times. One of the reasons for my BTPD. My mother has been married, my dad, Cody's dad, Kyle's dad, Wayne, Barrett, Fritz. Who came after Fritz? It wasn't JC next, was it? No. Byron. Yeah, Byron was next. Then JC. JC was the one that actually wanted to stay with her. They broke up. My mom is crazy. They broke up, and he wanted to stay with her, and he thought he was husband number 4. No, he thought he was husband number 5 because he knew he thought Byron was number 4 because he knew all of us had different fathers. He's like, I'm husband number 5, and my uncle's like, you're husband number 8, you idiot. And then he left her for good. Patrick, who I actually went to high school with, who married her, and then found a picture of me in one of her albums and said, why is Chad in your picture album? She said, well, that's my son. And he said, okay, we gotta break up. She's like, what do you mean? He goes, that guy scares me. I remember him breaking somebody's leg in school. I'm leaving him. I'm leaving you because he'll kill me. And then, so she's been married 10 times. and each time she's been cheating on the guy with the next guy. So there's a reason why I don't trust women, and I'm sad for my wife because she has to deal with my craziness about that sort of stuff. I'm actually surprised I'm married with the trust I have in women. I love my wife, and I'd like to be able to say I trust her, but I don't, and I don't because of this. 10 guys, each one she was fucking around with. Like to be told that the reason why you have to keep breaking up with people is because you have a handicap and these people cannot take having you in their life kind of wears down on you too, especially when that starts getting told to you when you're 4. I don't even know where I'm going. This is getting sad for no reason. So yeah, my toilet still doesn't work. I have to work 6 days in a row after getting my ass kicked for 2 days. I haven't slept in 48 hours now. I hate that people now know the truth about me at work. I have a door that's pissing me. I can shake the door. There's such a gap in the door that if I took the rubber around it away, I could see outside, like, perfectly. Like, how did that cost me $1,200 for you to install that bullshit? And how can you leave the wire just hanging there? How can you leave this and that? How can you think that it's going to that you can charge me $600 to fucking metal wrap the door frame? Fuck you guys. And I'm going to do my little type up about what I think. And yeah, it's going to be what it is. It's going to be what it is. It is going to be what it is. There's 6 of you here. I didn't think I'd get more than one. I thought nobody will watch this until afterwards. The fact that there's 6 of you right now kind of scares me. Yeah, I'll try and read anything that's said here. Indeed, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, Lee, I'm glad that you'll run a Hoogly Live. Maybe here's what I'll say, Lee. There is a 10% chance that a BDU will happen. I do have to work tonight, but there is a floater, so the floater is an extra, and we already talked because it's at my 6th day. He might take my bar because I don't have a bad bar. I don't have a good bar tonight. I have a bar that should make him $60 doing the job I do at work. And he won't have to do anything but watch TV and put some water out. So there is a chance I will be off, but it's that the guy at the best bar doesn't offer him the best bar, which is Breeze, and that nobody calls in sick. Those are the two caveats. If those 2 things happen, I'll be at home. But nobody calling in sick while people still have time, and the person at the best bar who has like 10 days left of vacation not giving his best bar up is far and slim, but he is willing to take my bar if those 2 things don't happen. So if those 2 things don't happen, we'll still do a BDU. Maybe I'll have a nervous breakdown on BDU because I actually was going to do a heart-to-heart with the Rhino today because a couple of my triggers were actually set off today. I'm not even talking about the, hey, let's let people know that Chad actually has a heart instead of him just being a dickhead. A couple of my triggers were actually set off today. My mother found my new cell phone number. Well, I shouldn't say she found it. My aunt gave it to her. And I love my aunt. I love my grandmother. I love my grandfather. I love my other grandmother. I mean, I love the people that helped raise me. But they just don't get it. They don't get that I want absolutely no contact with my mother. And they understand what she's done to me. They understand what she's done to my family. They understand what she's done to my brothers. But they can't because they're a close-knit, weird Irish family. They can't understand why I don't want anything to do with her anymore. I don't want anything to do with her because when I have something to do with her, I have breakdowns. And my family deals with it. My kids deal with it. My wife deals with it. I have had the times where after my freakouts, I've wanted to do bad things to myself. Hell, even without my freakouts, I've wanted to do bad things to myself. My work, every March I have a huge, and this is why Heart to Hearts with the Rhino started in April, I think, a few years back. Marches are a bad time for me because that's my mother's birthday, and she finds things out about me, and she freaks out about it, and she's like, "You don't spend all your money on me." Da, da, da. Of course I don't. You're a fucking bitch, and you know what you're doing, and you know what you've done to me, and you just don't care. But I can't, because of what's wrong with me. I can't just forget about things. And when you finally get a hold of me again, it fucking fucks with me. And every year I have a breakdown. And my wife found me one year, and I had just started doing something very bad to myself. And when I say very bad to myself, I don't want to admit it online because it gets out there. But yeah, I was going to end my life. And it's one of those things where I thought the world and my family, especially my family, would be better off without me. I think and I still to this day think my kids would be better off without me. They would be better off not suffering the same turmoil that I suffered, because as much as I don't want to, I yell a lot. I do a lot of the things I don't want to do, and it is just the way it is. And I do think that I do think at times that they would be better off without me. And that's the point I got at. And I mean, you always read, suicide is a selfish thing because you're only caring about yourself. No, a lot of times with mental illness, suicide isn't because you only care about getting rid of yourself and the pain that you have. It's because you think that it will help the people around you. My wife would be happier with somebody else, is the things I think. My kids would be happier with a different daddy. My kids would live a better life with a different daddy. Things would be better without me around, is the things that you think about. And it's not something you want to think about, but it is the things that are out there. And I mean, it is what it is, and it is how it is, and nothing will change those thoughts except for finding a way to control whatever mental illness you have. I don't even know why I'm talking about this, to be honest with you. I mean, this isn't a heart-to-heart with the Rhino type of thing. It's just me ranting, and it's just stupid to me. And I don't like admitting these things. And I think it comes down to the fact that every once in a while I feel like I have to get things off my chest. I don't know why. I just feel like I have to, and it is what it is. And then I'll get the normal comments. I'll get the, "Oh, don't think that way," and shit like that. "Oh, be strong." That stuff doesn't help, because that stuff is stuff that you're told all the time. No matter what illness you have, depression, borderline personality disorder, bipolar, schizophrenia, no matter what you have, that's what people will say, no matter what it is, because they don't know. If they haven't suffered those type of things, they don't know. And then the people that do, and I mean, the heart-to-hearts, you'll see people that actually do the comment sections in the heart-to-hearts, for the people that haven't had their YouTube channels deleted over the years. You'll see people that actually have the same illness, and they're a lot different type of comments. They're like, you talking about this makes me feel stronger because of the fact that this is what and it's just these weird things. I mean, I think I do this just because of that, because of the fact that I know that when I listen to somebody that has the same problems, talking about the problems I have, I feel stronger. I feel like, yeah, I'm not the only person. And I know that there's 5 of you watching right now, and who knows who you are. I don't know. But maybe one of you has the same problem, and you're sitting here going, who? Or maybe 4 of you are thinking, you're a fucking idiot. I don't want to watch you anymore. That's fine, too. I do my beer reviews. I do my hot sauce reviews. I do whatever the fuck I want. And I do those because I want to do them, not because I have to. And every once in a while, stuff like this comes out. Every once in a while, something real comes out. Something more my life than just the beer reviews comes out. I don't know why, but when those happen, I kind of like it. I don't know why either. I just kind of like it. I can't even believe I can make coherent sentences at this point because it's been 48 hours. Let's see if anyone else commented before I continue my rant. My rant and my vent and everything else. What else can I talk about tonight? Oh, my wife, my like I said, my brother who I don't care about, my brother who used to be a cokehead and stole money from me and the rest of my family. It's his wedding, and I have to go to it just so I don't have to deal with the repercussions of it. And basically, it comes down to the fact that I, I'm freaking out about going to this wedding because it is my brother that I don't really care about, but I have to go to it just to keep from the repercussions of the family. But if I go to it, I will see my mother. And that's what's freaking me out the most. If I go to it, I'll see my mother, and she is the key to the majority of my problems, my BPD problems, not my life problems in general, but my mental health problems. She is the key to a lot of them, and I know she is, and I'm worried about how my family will end up being affected by me seeing her again because I haven't seen her in years. Um, Actually, I haven't seen her since my daughter was born, so that was over 3 years ago. Excuse me, and I'm okay with that. And I haven't talked to her in about 3 weeks. The last time I talked to her was for 5 minutes when I said, my wife is pregnant again. Bye." And it was just so that I didn't get told. Oh, I never told her. It's this weird thing. My family knows what is going on, yet they make me contact her. And I don't want to knock out my whole family because my aunt and my grandmother are what raised me more than anything. And they're the closest thing I have to a real family. Yet they keep pushing my mother on me because they want us to all try and be a cohesive family. And we can't be. We can't be a cohesive family. It just, not for me at least, we can't be. Yet they can't get that through their heads. I mean, we sat there, and me, my aunt, my grandmother, my wife at the time, and my dad, who wasn't allowed to be part of my life because of my mother, we're all drinking at my aunt's house, and we were all talking about the horrible stories about the things that my mother has done to me and my brothers, and how my aunt had to take us from them, and how my aunt wanted to get custody, and this and that, and we were talking all these stories. We were telling all these stories about years gone by, and my aunt afterwards is like, "You should call your mom." What the fuck is wrong with you, Aunt Kim? I love you, and I understand exactly what you're trying to do, but what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you think I should call her after everything that you talked about? After everything you've witnessed, after everything that we've gone through, after all the times that you and your husband have fought about me and my brothers and everything else, why would you even think I should contact her again? Why would you push that on me? You know what she's done to me. You know how close I've come to killing myself on several occasions because of her. And I think the only reason I can even say this is I know you'll never see this. But why would you force that on me? Why would you try? Why? It doesn't make sense. It's just moronic. It actually pisses me off more than anything else. It really does. It just boggles my mind. And then my wife, my kids, my job, my few close friends I have, my internet, like my friends that I've made over the internet, which is it's easier for me to make friends over the internet than in person. My contacts I've made throughout my life all suffer. I mean, Lee's watching right now. There's been times I've snapped at Lee, and there's been times I've, at least in text, and snapped at other people, and it wasn't their fault. It was me going off, and I turned off the camera because I did have a tear starting in my eye, and you guys, just like my family, don't get to see me cry. Nobody gets to see the albino rhino cry. I have a persona to keep up, at least somewhat. And yeah, Lee just said, family can hurt you more than anyone else, and he has to remind himself that if they're hurting you, they're not family. And I mean, I really wish that I could just separate them, but they don't let you. Close knit Irish family guilt, and that's exactly what it is. It is close knit Irish family guilt. It's one of those things where they want to be a close knit family, but they all know that they're fucked up. My grandmother is just as fucked up as my mother, but she's never affected me with it. My aunt, she's affected my aunt with her bullshit. Like I don't know how many generations back my mother's side of the family has had their fucked up bullshit, but they have. And then my father's side of the family, I don't know anything really about them. I mean, here is, and I don't know if I've gone into this in the Albino Rhino Heart to Hearts, but since I'm drinking and I haven't slept in days, here is, and there's only 4 viewers left. Here is the Albino Rhino and Albino Rhino Senior, who isn't albino's family history. He is much older than my mother. They got married when my mother was 16. He was in his 30s. My mother is now 50, so it wasn't all that uncommon back then. He was right from Ireland. My mother is right from Ireland, but she was born. She came to Canada when she was very young, so she was basically Canadian. She was raised in Canada. She wasn't raised in Ireland like my dad. My dad didn't have a dad, so I think that's part of the reason why he can't really be a dad, and I think that's part of the reason why I have the problems I have with my kids, because I don't know what a dad is. I just know all the fucking bullshit drunkards that my mother's been married to. My dad, his dad died at 31 of a massive heart attack. So my dad being in his 60s and me, no, my dad would be right around 70 by now. Hey, what? I'm 34, so my mother had me at 19. He's 16 years older than her, so she'd be 53. So yeah, he's right around 70 now. He looks pretty good for 70. He'd probably be 68 by now, right now. But anyway, I I I didn't have a dad. I just had whatever drunken asshole she was married to that didn't care about me because I was both handicapped and not their kid. Um, he didn't have a dad because his dad died right around the time he was born. So I think it's a generational thing where he didn't know how to be a dad, and I didn't know how to be a dad. He wasn't allowed in my life because at one point he had said to my mother, because she wouldn't let him have visitation, he said he was going to kidnap me and take me to Mexico. And we talked about that when we first really got together. What happened with me and him was I was told for a long time that he was an asshole and he didn't want anything to do with me. He wanted me aborted when he found out I would be handicapped. I think she was just making shit up because you can't tell I'm going to be albino in the womb. But I lived with that. I lived with that all the time, being told all the time my father didn't want anything to do with me. And when I was older, she was brought home one time by the police with a broken leg, and she told me that my dad beat her up and broke her leg. And this is when I was starting to build muscle and everything, when I started doing strongman and all that. And this was the first time I ever met my dad, and I just broke into his house and beat him up. And he never charged me. And he knew why I beat him up, because I told him, "You fucking beat my mother, fuck you," and all this. And I was probably 15 at the time. When I turned, when did I start dating my wife? We would have been 21. We got married at 23. No, we've been married 10 years. Yeah. So we would have gotten married at 24. When we got married, right before we got married, my great grandmother died. And when she died, right before she died, it was like, it was weird because it was like 24 hours before she died. She called my cell phone and we had a 35-minute talk on the cell phone. And she told me all the things you've been told as a kid were lies. Your mother was never beat by your father. Your father loved you. He wanted to be part of your life. The reason he stepped back was your mother told your dad's side of the family, if your father was part of the family, none of them could ever see you. So for your aunt and your grandmother to see you, your dad had to step back. She goes, your dad has pictures of all your wrestling tournaments because he showed up at all of them. He has pictures of you playing rugby because he showed up to them. He has pictures of you doing the Highland Games. He has pictures of you doing strongman. He was at all those things. You just didn't know who he was. And this is my great grandmother telling me this, like a day before she died. And then she died, and I was getting married. And I sent my dad a letter. And in the letter, I said, I am sorry for anything that happened between us. This is what I've been told my whole life. This is what my great grandmother told me right before she died. I don't know what is true. Your side of the family won't tell me anything. I'm going to have to believe my great grandmother because she is my mother's grandmother. And I don't know. Here's my phone number. If you want to call me, call me. If you don't, don't. And apparently the letter, I mailed the letter on a Monday. Apparently it showed up on Wednesday. And I say apparently because I had this conversation with my dad's current wife, Janet. And she's like, yeah, the letter showed up at 9 a.m. He called in sick to work. He sat there and he read the letter like 15 times. And then he picked up the phone and called you. And we haven't had a very good relationship. It hasn't been a bad relationship. It's just my dad has a problem being responsible. And it is things like he can't pay phone bills. So he never has a phone. And he lives in Kemptville. He's a rock truck driver. He works 6 days a week. So we don't get to see each other very often because I don't go up very often. I'm about to have a third kid. I don't get to go home very often. And when I go home, I always get pressured to go see my mother. So I try to stay away from home. I remember him coming down. He came down to visit, and he brought his wife, and he brought my stepsister, Cricket. Yeah, her name is Cricket. And we got drunk on my balcony. I went in to take a shit. And I guess he was so drunk he spilt his heart out to my wife. And Christy talked to me about it that night while everybody was sleeping. And she's like, yeah, he was crying while you were in the washroom. He was crying that he would never get to meet you. He was crying he would never get to tell you the things that happened. And apparently my dad went into the hospital with a heart attack. And while he was in the hospital with a heart attack, they gave him a medication that reacted to a cancer. And they found out he had cancer at the same time. And that's when he started freaking out that he would never get to actually see me and tell me the truth about everything. And I mean, it pisses me off that we live 8 hours away because of that, because I'd love to have a relationship with my dad, especially after everything that happened. And he told me the story. He told me the story about telling my mom that he was going to kidnap me and take me to Mexico. And I'm like, I'm albino, you idiot. I would have died. He's like, I know, but I just wanted to get you and get you away from her. I knew what she was like and get you somewhere safe. I didn't really know much about albinism at the time. I mean, I just knew that I wanted to get you out of there. And again, my dad is right from Ireland. My dad's a weird guy. And it was just this thing that made me feel sad to know that this old guy who I'm just meeting and looks just like me, but a little bit shorter and was built the same as me at the time, because we both kind of had a build at the time, was a guy that I didn't get to know my whole life because of my mother, and that followed my life, his whole life, but I didn't know he was even there. When I wrestled for the Canadian Championships in Vancouver, he was there. He traveled to Vancouver. I didn't know that he was in the crowd. It's those things. It's those things that are just weird to me. And I mean, he didn't know how to be a dad. I don't know how to be a dad. It's just, it's generations following themselves, and that's weird to me too. I'm sorry. Yeah. You're right. There is no. Yeah, so I'm sitting here. I'm doing this live feed, and I have a guy trolling about Santa. You're so funny. You're original. You're everything else. I've heard that a bazillion times in my life, be it online. It's funny because here is the Santa jokes. Okay, any joke about Santa. I'm online. You joke about Santa. I'm at work where you know I can't say or do anything because it's a government job. I get jokes about Santa. You're in your car driving past me. I get jokes about Santa. But when you are walking past me or at a bar or anywhere else that a 300-pound guy who used to do strongman is sitting there, you don't say shit about Santa. Nobody does. When I can actually say something or do something about the Santa comment, nobody says anything about Santa. It's a weird correlation that when I could get fired and lose the benefits and the money that houses and feeds my kids, you'll say something about Santa. When I'm on the internet where you're completely anonymous, you'll say something about Santa or anything else. When you're driving by in your car where I can't do anything because I'm walking down the street, you'll say something about Santa. But when you're face to face with me, or you're sitting at a table beside me, or you're somewhere where I'm not in a work uniform, or I am within arm's reach of you, you won't say shit about Santa. It's a really strange coincidence the way the Santa jokes work. I actually had a conversation at work about Santa at one point where a guy called me Santa and I refused to serve him. And he's like, well, if you don't want to be called Santa, shave. And I looked at him and I go, okay, so let me get this straight. I have a genetic defect that makes my hair white. And because I have that genetic defect, I can't grow a beard without a fucking asshole calling me Santa. Oh, well, it's a term of endearment. Do you know me? Do you know anything about me? Well, no. I go, do you know what religion I am? Do you know anything about me? How is calling me Santa, which is a Christian manifest, a term of endearment if you know nothing about me? It's not that the Santa thing bothers me per se. It's that there's two types of people. There's the people that say it with a hey, you would make a good Santa or stuff like that. Older people usually, and there's the young entitled douchebags that think they're being clever that say it. And the young entitled douchebags only say it in one of three reasons. And yeah, you're just a young entitled douchebag. And that's okay. You want to be a young entitled douchebag, be a young entitled douchebag. But just know, we know what you are. It's okay. I get it. You have a small penis. You can't make a woman happy. You have a horrible job. You have whatever the fuck the reason is. I had a guy at work just this Saturday. I was working as my other job description at my job. And I'm working and I'm like, a bartender will be right with you, sir. Okay, thanks, Santa. And his girlfriend looks at him and she goes, you're an asshole. He goes, what? He's Santa. And I go, okay, maybe a bartender won't be with you. Whatever you say, Santa. And I walk over to the bartenders on that side of the bar and I'm like, don't serve them. This is what just happened. So they ignore him for about 5 minutes before he waves one of them over. And one of them comes over and he's like, I want this and this and this. Well, you're not getting it. You gotta slow down. What do you mean I gotta slow down? I just got here. Well, you're making fun of our staff members, so obviously you're either drunk or an asshole, and I'm not serving you either way. And then he walked out of my place of business, and the entire way he was walking out, you could just keep hearing him. All I said was he Santa. You're a douchebag, is what you are. You're not being clever. You're not anything else. It's what it is. You think you're being clever? You're wrong. You think you're being funny? You're wrong. Think you're being anything other than an asshole? You're wrong. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. The only people that get to call me Santa let me come down their fucking chimney. Am I coming in your asshole? No. So shut the fuck up. See, and here I was. You know what? It's good because it got me off my off where I was going. It got me off where I was going in that chat that I was just having. It's just one of those things. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get the. I don't get the entire belief that you're being something clever or different. That's what it comes down to. I don't get the I'm being different or I'm being clever. You think that a 300-pound man with a big white beard hasn't heard that you're Santa before? I've been called Santa. I've been called Q-tip. I've been called a lot of things, but it's just one of those. It's just one of those weird, interesting things to me. It really is. Yeah, you get to look at my head right now, and that's just the way it's going to be. For just a second, I am legally blind, so you're going to have to see my head while I do something. And bang. And yes, they do hunt albinos for magic in Africa. That's, again, not something that's new. Bang. We're done. There we go. We're done. I feel better now. I feel better. So where were we? Yeah, so I haven't slept in 2 days. My toilet's clogged. I got recognized for something that actually would make most people happy but pissed me off. How can you tell my weight anyway from this? You don't get to see my gut. And can't see my face because of my beard. I have rosy cheeks because I haven't slept and I've been drinking. And my weight's a funny thing because I weigh a lot more than most people would think because I'm all muscle except for there. And I mean, yeah, just don't have time to work out like I used to. I still have the shoulders, still for the most part have the arms. I mean, you might think that's fat. There's actually no fat on there. These, yeah, okay, I'll give you that. This, I'll give you that. But the rest of my body, pretty much solid. A little bit underneath the biceps, a little bit in the tricep area. I never really worked out the triceps, even when I was doing a lot of workout. But now we're getting off of what I was doing. We're getting off of the shooting the shit. I don't know. Any of you have anything? I'm at the point where I'll actually talk about almost anything in my life. So any of you have anything you want to talk about? You have a good one, Lee. Thank you for joining in. Have a good day, either sleeping or working, whatever you're doing right now. Do it and have fun. I have to sleep, but I also have to paint. I have to cut my lawn. I have to go to work. I have a huge list of shit I have to do. I don't want to go to work tonight, to be honest with you. Just the fact that it's my normal day off, I don't want to go to work. Just the fact that I know that I'm going to my brother's wedding this weekend and I know I'm going to see my mother, I don't want to go to work because I'm already starting to work myself up on it. It's not something I should even be working myself up on. It's just something that I am working myself up on. And it's a weird thing to feel, to know, and you know what? I think the Santa Claus thing just took me off of where I was going. I think it's just made me more angry than it should have. And I think it only made me angry because I dealt with that shit tonight, too. I was actually at work, and I must say it was a little more ingenious than usual. I'm working, and I'm doing like 10 people's orders at once, and a guy staring at me, and the bartender at the bar I'm at is like, "Why are you staring at him?" And she's an old lady, an old French lady, so very upfront, very in your face, and she's yelling at him for mocking me, as many people do, because she gets tired of it more so than even I do, and because I mean I've spent 34 years on this earth dealing with it, and yeah, so she's listening to it and trying to listen in on his conversation, and she says something to him, and he's like, I wasn't doing that. I respect him, because she brought this forward to him, and he leaves the bar. About 3 hours later, I'm doing the garbage, and I'm walking across the floor, and I pass him and his girlfriend. And he's like, "Oh, look, Papa Smurf left his bar." It's the first time I've ever actually been called Papa Smurf, so I give him that. But yeah, so you were being a dickhead. You were, and that's just the way it is. But I do give you props that it's something I haven't actually heard before. I give you props on that. I mean, here's the thing. It happens all the time. If you're gonna harass me, at least be original. And I give him that was pretty original compared to everything else. Q-Tip, heard. Santa, millions of times, even from people that aren't trying to be rude. Fat ass. Yeah, you're not saying anything I haven't heard. It's weird because this channel is mostly about beer. We talk about a few things, but this channel is mostly about beer. And it's always the same. Once me and my buddies end up doing some research on people, it's always the exact same people, the exact same type of people that are saying the exact same type of things. And I just sit there and I shake my head and I'm like, why? How were you guys raised the way you were raised? It's weird. You just let people be the way they're gonna be. You stop. You're not doing anything new. You're not doing anything funny. You're not doing anything like that. I'm not even talking about myself now. It's just in general. Why? Like, is your life that bad that you have to make fun of that fat guy over there, or that black guy over there, or that Chinese guy over there, or that guy that likes jazz music over there, or that? Why? Except that that there's billions of people on this earth, and that we all like different things. You're gay. Who cares? And then things like what I have, I have a handicap and a mental illness, and shit like that is something that people go off on. There are people that have different physical and mental abilities than you. Accept that. And unless you have to live a life with either of them, don't comment on them. And then there are people that are worse off financially than you. Accept that. There are people that are worse off anyway than you. Well, there are some people with fucking micro penises. Let them have micro penises. There are some women with giant vaginas. Let them have giant vaginas. There are 400, 500, 600-pound people. Yeah, maybe they made themselves to that point. But we're all allowed to be the way we are. And we're all allowed to vent. And we're all allowed to talk. And we're all allowed to be who we are. Yes, you're allowed to make fun of them if you want. I mean, freedom of speech says you're allowed to. I do believe in a freedom of speech where you're allowed to say whatever you want. I don't have to like it. I don't have to listen to it. And that's why some of you get blocked on the channel. It's not that I don't think you're allowed to say it. It's I don't have to listen to it. And it's my channel, so I can just block it. And that's the way it is. And it's weird. It's weird. It's yeah. Yeah. I don't even yeah. See, I was on an entire chat about how I felt and everything else, and I lost it. I lost it all. And that's okay. It's just weird to me that it just dropped so fast. Jamie, you go. Yeah, so I talked about my mental illness. I talked about my father. I talked about what's going on this week. I talked about how my days have been. I commented on the Santa stuff. Yeah, I think I'm done. I think I might go and try and unclog the toilet one more time with the sewer snake. Maybe it'll get done. Maybe it won't. And then I'm going to go to sleep. There was other things I wanted to talk about, so maybe a heart-to-heart with the Rhino is going to have to happen in the next few days. But for now, I guess I'm done. Yeah. Have a good day, guys. Bye.